figures, it's an endeavor to be very much true to life. When it comes to model, you sort of have to consider, very much their personality and their body type and what looks comfortable or beautiful or graceful to them. And as often I'll go in with one idea for a pose that I want for painting, and when you're actually in the room with the model and trying to figure it out, you have to throw that away because you're just trying to force something that isn't natural for them. So a lot of the figures are a pursuit of, flesh is a complicated thing to paint, but it's a pursuit for precision. For some of the portrait sketches, I'll transfer the drawing and then I'll scrub in the background and then leave it. And so it's a little bit of a challenge because sometimes if you work the background up with the figure, you can correct errors, or if you paint outside the lines, you can change things. And in other genres, if you look at, I love Fantin Latour, if you look at his paintings, he would do exactly that. He would find different ways to create these beautiful backgrounds and then never touch them and paint the flowers and sometimes the figures right on top without ever touching the background again. And I don't know that a lot of people, viewers, necessarily care or strikes them, but from an artist's point of view, I'm enthralled because I know how much more difficult it is to never be able to fill in that background. For some of the other Academy nudes, I would start by doing drawing in graphite on paper, and then you transfer it to the canvas, and then you do an underpainting, or you just go straight in with the final pass. But they're very studied, and you work part by part, so each day is, one day is the portrait, the next day is a shoulder, the next day is an upper arm. And then other times I work a little bit more all over. The figurative work very much has that working part by part, and you finish it as you go. Which is a marvelous technique, especially for students, because it forces you to to work in a very committed way, a very considered and committed way. If you know that this is the last, you're going to paint something once and you're never going to touch it again, you really have to confront the resolution of it. And sometimes if you, certainly there's positives and negatives to both approaches, sometimes if you always have in the back of your head, I'm going to come back to this, sometimes it never reaches its full realization. It can be pretty brutal sitting down, I'll wake up, try and get at my easel at 8:30 or so, and then, especially during the summer, using natural light, try and paint until 8 at night, and that's a long stretch of time. And so what I found really helps is audiobooks, actually, podcasts and audiobooks. And something interesting about, I can completely concentrate on painting and completely listen to an audiobook. Somehow there are different parts of, and I'm not a multitasker, believe me, but there's something where it's easy to do both, and having an audiobook actually helps you because it keeps my mind from doing too much wandering. The figurative tradition is, it's the greatest tradition in art history, and I think it's often far too overlooked by many artists, and so it's something that I think I really wanted to dedicate myself to get that foundational building block before really moving on to anything.